Harambe Twin Day, which means let's go. Well, Jumbo, everyone. That's how we say hello out here. So, Jumbo.
Jumbo!
Awesome. My name is Alicia, and I'll be your photo safari guide for the next 2 weeks as we make our way out across the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. And we're going to hang out here for just a moment until we get the all clear to enter the reserve. But if you look right above your heads, you'll find a game spotting guide, and that guide will help you identify any animals that we might happen to see along the way. I'll also be pointing them out, and I'll do my very best to stop or at least slow down for as many as possible. And we won't be able to stop for every animal, and when we do stop, it's only going to be for a few seconds. But no worries, we'll be going very slowly most of the time, so you'll get great views, even great photo opportunities of all the animals that do happen to be out this afternoon. Well, now we're going to begin our journey in the Ituri Forest area of the reserve, and that's Swahili for Little Forest. Here the animals use their colors and their markings to help them blend in with their surroundings. Now if you take a look over to the right, you'll see a very unusual looking animal walking across the back of the hill there. That's an Okapi. Now the Okapi is actually a member of the giraffe family. Yeah. And they're very shy animals. They weren't discovered till the early 1900s, so we're still learning quite a bit about them. There's also a smaller, darker colored animal almost straight out to our right, up there near the fencing at the top of the hill. That's a yellowback duiker. Now the yellowback duiker gets its name because of the yellow crest that it has on its back. And its name actually means diving buck. And that's because of the way that they'll dive into the bushes when they want to make a quick escape. Now watering holes like this one to our left, those are great spots to keep an eye out for larger, much more visible animals, such as black rhino. Now we'll go nice and slow to see if we might be able to spot one. There are fewer than 5,000 of them remaining alive in the entire world, and that's because they're being hunted and poached for their horn. If not for that, they would be virtually indestructible. They can get to be over 3,000 pounds, and their hide up to 3 inches thick in some areas. Now, I don't see one just yet, but I'm going to continue to keep an eye out on this hill to the left, and if I spot one, I'll definitely stop so we can get a look at it. Now, the rhino's horn's made entirely out of keratin. So it's exactly like our hair and fingernails. It has absolutely no special properties to it, which does make it pretty sad that that's what they're being hunted and poached for. It doesn't look like they're out there right now. Now we're going to start to make our way out of the forest and head over to the Safi River. Over here in the river, we get a great opportunity to see some pretty cool aquatic birds and animals. Now you will want to keep your eye out on the surface of the water over here. That's usually the best place to spot these animals. They do tend to spend quite a bit of time in the water.
Hippo.
Now we're going to be looking for things like hippopotamus and crocodiles. Yeah. Oh, there's a hippo out of the water right there to our right. It's laying up there on the side of the river there. Now they can stay underwater for up to 8 minutes at a time. They're also excellent swimmers. However, they do prefer to walk whenever they can reach the bottom. Now they'll come out at night to feed on the riverbanks. When they do, they'll eat up to 150 pounds of vegetation at a time. Now just ahead, those large white and gray birds that you see out there on the island, those are pink-backed pelicans. They get their name from the pink color that appears on their back during mating season. Now we're going to head a little further downriver to see what else we can find. In a few moments we'll be crossing a very old, very narrow bridge. And right below that bridge are Nile crocodiles. So we're going to make our way across it very, very carefully. But as we do, if you look to your left, you'll be able to spot those crocodiles right below us. Now the Nile crocodile can get to be up to 20 feet long.
There they are.
About as tall as a giraffe can get. Sometimes you'll see them with their mouth open.
Lord,
they do
look
that
at
to
him.
regulate their body temperature.
Look at his
when
tail.
they snap their jaws shut, they can exert a bite force of up to 2,000 pounds per square inch, which is more than enough to crush even the largest bone. And they're also able to run well over 10 miles per hour. So they're definitely not an animal that you would want to mess around with. Now we're going to make our way over to the savannah and try our luck over there. In just a moment, on the right-hand side of the road, you're going to spot a very unusual looking tree. Kind of looks like an upside down tree. It's just ahead on our right. Right there, that is a baobab. Now, baobab trees can go up to 9 months out of the year with no leaves, and they store water inside of their massive trunks, so they're able to withstand very long periods of drought. Well, now we're entering the Serengeti Grasslands. They're extremely important because they stretch for hundreds of miles across East Africa, acting like a superhighway for millions of migrating animals every single year. Now, this is truly the wild Africa that we are trying so hard to protect and preserve. Out here is the animals that maintain this very natural landscape. Elephants will knock down older trees, which encourages new growth. The giraffes, they eat from the underside of the trees, allowing sunlight to come through so more grass can grow. Then cattle, antelope, and zebra, they're kind of like the lawnmowers out here, while warthogs and gazelle trim and nibble up the edges. That's what creates the very well-balanced ecosystem that you see all around us. Now, these red mounds that you see scattered across the reserve of different shape and size, those are termite mounds. They're as tough as concrete. The smaller, more rounded off termite mounds, those are used by the antelope and the gazelle as lookout posts. And then the taller, skinnier mounds, those are used by the elephants and the giraffes as scratching posts. Bearded wildebeest. We're going to get up there much closer to them. White-bearded wildebeest is also known as the gnu, G-N-U, and that's because of the sound that they make. Very similar to that of a cow, only much lower. They take part in one of the largest annual migrations every year. Now, those cows that you see out there near the top of the hill, those are Ankole cattle, also known as Watusi cattle, because of the tribe that domesticated them. Their giant horns can get to be up to 6 feet from tip to tip and about 20 inches around the base. Now, the Ankole are the only domesticated animal to live out here on the reserve alongside the wild animals. Their horns are very lightweight. They're filled with a honeycomb type substance. They act as a cooling system for the Ankole. Now, just around this corner, you'll see some of the giraffes. There are 2 different types of giraffes out here on the reserve. The first one that we see right out ahead of us on its own, that's a reticulated, and the others are Maasai giraffes. We're going to pause here for just a moment. When the giraffes are first born, they're already tall enough to look a full-grown man in the eye. They'll stand about 6 feet tall. Males can get to be up to 18 to 20 feet, and females will average about 14 to 16 feet. They also have very long tongues. A giraffe's tongue can get to be up to 1.5 feet long. They can curl the end of it and use it like a hand to grab a hold of any leaves or bark that they want to nibble on.
It's okay. We can always come back later. Another day, if we have time. You know, there's some really good pictures here.
Exactly.
I got a GoPro on it too, so I can zoom in.
Oh, look.
Wow, it's walking. That's awesome, Britt.
Now we're going to start to make our way over to elephant country. On the way there, we're going to be passing by Monkey Point. Now, Monkey Point gets its name from a troop of mandrill monkeys that tend to hang out there. And it's going to be on our left once we get around this large rock just ahead of us. Now, the mandrills have bright red and blue markings.
That was
You
awesome.
can use that as your guide to kind of help spot them. They do tend to blend in pretty well with their surroundings.
Great picture.
We're going to go nice and slow through here to see if we can spot
That's
any of the
epic.
mandrills. Then we're going to head further down to try and find a herd of elephants. Now, the mandrills will spend most of their day grooming one another and foraging under the trees and bushes. I do see some of them just up ahead. They're going to be on the hillside right in behind the trees and bushes. Actually, there's one right up in one of the trees there.
Kaylee.
We have a dominant male that's in charge of their troop. He's the largest one with the brightest markings. Now, he'll get to be up to 100 pounds while the others average about 25 to 35. Now, we're going to head a little further down to see if we can find those elephants. Now, elephant herds are made up of females and juveniles. A female elephant will bond with her young for about 15 years, which is the second longest bonding period of any mammal. Male elephants, on the other hand, typically live alone or in small, loose bachelor groups. They'll leave their herd at about 15 to 17 years of age. Now, in order to get over to the herd, we are going to have to cross another bridge. This one's bigger than the first one, but it does need a little bit of work, so we're going to go across it very, very carefully. It is our only way, so here we go. Now, pay no mind to any sounds you might hear. It's really